So as I make this particular motanka, it will be a gift for the land. I'm making use of a lot of the little cotton bits and pieces that I have collected or kept. Strings that I've cut off from other projects, threads that I've pulled out of pieces of fabric that are fraying. This is like from a vitamin bottle. It's the inserted cotton. And I feel that's really important, to have no waste, to honor the resources that go into the making of fiber, and the time and the hours and the intention. I'm also going to put in, because it's a gift for the land, a few herbs. This is rose petals. They still smell really good. This is some seeds from a mentor back in BC. Beautiful mentor. Thank you, Della. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this vignette, is medicine of binding. See, when we weave, sew, when we fly or twine, we are working with the medicine of binding. It's this idea that, excuse me, it's this idea that intention is bound or attached, sewn into whatever we're working with, woven into what we're doing. And so as I bind the fabric, as I wind around and around, one of the things that I'm imagining here is the movement that I perceive sitting on the earth happening across the sky as the sun moves around and around the earth. That's the perception. Whereas the moon moves around. So I'm binding the cycles of nature into this particular motanka. I'm binding my prayers for good connection with the lands here. And fertility of the lands and forgiveness of the lands. For connecting to the spirits of the land and the ancestors of the land in a good way. May we serve them, may I serve them. I'm tying the knot 3 times, and as I do that, I say in my own heart and in my mind, I'm binding my prayers to this motanka. And now I'm keeping my extras in my little bag. So I mentioned this before, but if you're curious and want to actually make a motanka, you can check out my YouTube channel, just because I go through the lengthy process. Today's motanka is very simple, very simple. The ones that I make, that I give to the land, are very simple. I try and use natural fabric and fibers because it will be buried in the land. This is linen thread. So linen is a historically important fiber to Ukrainians. It was the primary fiber that was used in making cloth and thread up until I think the early 1900s, when more cotton and other fibers were introduced and worked with. And I really feel it's important that each of my multanki have at least some linen thread on them in honor of my own ancestral traditions. And it just feels nice working with that kind of natural fiber. You know, some people would wonder, why would you use these really good fibers and textiles when you're just going to be burying the mutanka? Well, that's actually a really good question. So when you think about that, what does that say then about my relationship with the soil and with the earth? It says that I honor the sacred nature of the earth and the soil and the trees and the plants and the birds and the animals and insects. Why would I put something synthetic that's just going to sit there for hundreds of years, breaking down into microplastics and things that are detrimental to the soil? Eventually they're going to go there, but why would I do that as a ceremonial act? Why not take something that I know is a natural fabric that's in resonance with the land there and make use of it as a ceremonial act? I bind my prayers and intentions to this Matanka. Bless. Bless. Oops. Okay, next video. Breaking.